sipping. Tommy! Ha! All right.
What's up, man?
Bro, what a week.
Yeah.
What a day.
What a day. It's
What
8
an
o'clock.
hour. What an hour.
It's 8 o'clock, but I feel like a quarter of our day is gone because, you know, we all got up. Well, me, you, and E, and Bob.
Yeah.
Me, you, and E, and Bob.
Mm-hmm.
Not John.
Yo,
Got
I
up at
love
4.
when John... Here's his lesson for everybody out there, okay? If you're not consistent, remember we talk about CDC, commit, discipline, consistency. If you're not consistent,
You can't talk shit.
ever, I don't want to hear it. I've been waking up at 5. Well, I've been waking up and working out at 5 a.m. since I was at least 23,
Yeah.
37 now, I think.
Yeah.
Am I 37? Something like that.
Yeah. For me, it was like 2016 I started training at 5 a.m. So, yeah, I was like 24. Yeah. Yeah, man.
Listen, our boy Johnny, I was sick. I had some issues that I was having, and I was away. So there was a combination of little things. So I missed out on a week and a half of morning sessions. And Johnny decides he's going to talk smack. And I'm like, bro,
Yeah.
you don't ever show up. He showed up for like 5 sessions.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, things have changed, man. Things have changed. You know. It's all right, though.
It's all right.
Teletubby.
Terrible.
But yeah, man, this morning was cool, man.
Oh, sorry,
Challenge was a bit, it was fun. A lot of assault bikes in there.
Love assault bikes. Bang, you're going to love it. You're going to love it.
Yeah, I tagged Bang in the story post, so hopefully he sees it and he gets after it here shortly. I think I told you, Bang said to me last night, every Thursday he says it. You guys gonna be there at 5 a.m. tomorrow? Bang, yes, we're gonna be there at 5 a.m. But I tell you who's not gonna be there at 5 a.m. You ain't gonna be there at 5 a.m.
Maybe I'll make it to 6:30. No, you won't.
Nah. I told him about 6:30. I said it was gonna be packed, which it was packed house. Great vibe this morning with
A lot of energy.
the 6:30 First Bell crew and Keys. Chili Peppers.
Chili peppers.
2 of the Chili Peppers. It was
2 of the
good.
chili peppers.
It was good, man. But yeah, a lot of assault bikes. I conquered that this morning, though.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
We did.
Yeah, we did.
Ain't scared of no assault bikes, man.
Yeah, it's funny, man, just kind of jumping back to this week, you and I talked about, from boxing, you always talk about, so offensively, you want to be online, so you're using all your power, everything you got there. But defensively, you want to be offline so that you're not getting hit. So they're not in that same vicinity. So you're going where you want to go, but you're not letting them go where they want to go because it's a change up. And it's funny, like you and I were talking about how, like, jiu-jitsu, so I've been, now for 2 years now, or something like that. It's been interesting to look at how it's the same, it's completely different. Like you watch jiu-jitsu and you watch boxing, 2 completely different sports. But it's so funny how foundational is everything is, the foundation is everything on everything on everything. Like things, people make things so complicated, right? But really it just comes back to commit, discipline, consistency, right? Online, offline. Get them off balance, you're in a great spot, right? Whether you're having a conversation with someone, you want to win a conversation, get them off balance, all of a sudden you win the conversation, right? In a fight, get them out of their game, whether it's hockey or,
Yeah.
it's just it's interesting how the fundamentals don't change.
Sport. Life.
To life.
Yeah.
It's really
100%.
interesting.
No, that's and it's like in boxing, the greatest offense is a great defense, right? So like when you do take your head offline. You still can punish a guy with your head offline. But yeah, you want those shots to be on target. And then I like what you just said there. Like in, applies to all sports. You get in somebody's head, you take them out of their game. You got them. now you're in line with what you want to do, and they're out of whack and out of line of what they plan to do, right?
Well, listen, like, if you're fighting someone who's just a brawl, like, they love stepping in the phone booth, and they punch hard. Why are you gonna go in there with them? Like, you're an idiot. You're gonna lose.
Well, that's
it's like Street Fighter. They get the little bars at the top. For every hit, your bar goes down half, while their bar goes down 1/8.
Now you do have like situations where, in that case, right, you got a guy that can thump, right? He's got bricks for hands, right?
I know a guy like
it wouldn't be wise if you don't have that same power, the same ferociousness to go toe to toe with that guy. You could beat that guy,
right?
But you got to have a plan,
and you got to take him out of his plan or her plan.
For sure. And I've seen that happen. Guys that you got guys that box, you got guys that fight, you got guys that do both. But a guy that just wants to go toe to toe and go to war, if you don't have that in your arsenal, it's best that you box him and frustrate him and pick him apart from the outside, right? And just to go back to getting in your opponent's head, Footer, for example, kid's been boxing just over a year now. He's in a place now where we can't let him get off anymore. Like, can't let him play. Can't take shots from him and let him work. I can still let him work, but it's like I can't let him punish me because he's getting better, right? Mm-hmm. But again, you see it from when me and him are in there, and you're, coaching him from the outside. It takes a little bit to get him going. So with him, I do like to get in his head. Like, he might hit me with a good shot, but I'll laugh at him, or I'll smile at him, or I tell him I ate that like lunch meat, or whatever the case is. And I shared that clip with you the other day, and there was some good points where he was getting his shots off, and he did some things well, but then there was times where he would connect and then stop. It's like one thing my grandfather used to say in boxing: you can't sit back and admire your work. If you catch a guy once, twice, why are you stopping, right? What are you waiting for? Weight broke the wagon. There's no, you can't wait. And there's no gas station here, so you can't run out of gas, right? Boxing is a sport where you can't call timeout. There is no timeout in boxing. And I've seen guys that, they try to call timeout, and you can't. So one thing, you can't run out of gas. Two is you can't admire your work. So me with Flitter, it's fun because I get to, and as a coach, you learn how to push your athletes, right? So you know how to turn their switch on. And I found that with him. But it's been fun working with him, man. The kid's growing.
Yeah, man. No, dude, he's getting better and better.
Yeah, for sure.
But that's but it's funny because that's the thing. Listen, going against your coach there's always going to be fear there, right? Like, no matter what, it's your coach.
Yeah.
But, it's funny because it's also tough because you got to work the stuff that you got, you're learning, that you're going through. I think that oftentimes is what's hard, is taking ourselves out of what's comfortable. What's comfortable is like, so when it comes to boxing, right? Like, what's comfortable is jab, 1-2, right? 1-2-3. Like, that's comfortable, right? But now when you start adding all the different things that you're learning, right? Can you put it and create that into a mix where it's your strategy, it's the way you go after things?
Yeah.
Because I think it's important to know it may not look pretty, but if it works for you, right? What does it matter?
Yeah, no, 100%. And I think that's the cool part about the sport of boxing. It doesn't have to be, everybody doesn't have to look the same, everybody doesn't have to fight the same. And really, man, as a fighter, as someone who does boxing, you should have a creative mind. That's why I think shadow boxing is so important. Mm-hmm. When you shadow box, you should work on things that you're struggling with. You should always work the fundamentals, right? Some people think shadowboxing is a warm up. Shadowboxing isn't a warm up. It's an opportunity to get better in areas that you know you're weak in, right? And it's an opportunity to imagine someone in front of you and work on all the stuff that you know is going to get you better, right? But it's funny you said that too. But before you were saying, you know, what's comfortable is throwing jabs and right hands and hooks and looking pretty and all that. But what's uncomfortable is getting hit.
Yeah.
So this reminds me of yesterday's session with Liam. So Liam hasn't sparred. He's very green. I've been working with him for about 2 months now, once or twice a week. He's 14, 2012 year birth year. So he's 14, right? So we were doing this drill, 13, 14, something like that.
Math's hard.
Math is hard. But anyway, we're working this drill, and he was throwing a jab at this hand, right? And I had him, so he was here, and I had him keeping his right hand in the pocket, right? So he was just doing this, taking his head off the line, hitting the mitt, right? So, but then I said, okay, we got that down. You're taking your head off the line, you're throwing a good jab. Now, I want you to catch my jab with an open glove. So it's pretty much jab, catch, right? So at first, I'm just putting it out there. He's catching it. But then I said, okay. And I just came up. So now I'm hooking him from here, but his glove is smacking him in the face. So like after the first time I did it, he's like, so he kept flinching after that. So I said, look, buddy, I'm not hitting you hard, but you have to be comfortable with getting hit. Yeah. So when he was throwing a jab, I just whacked him. And because he kept flinching, I said, getting hit isn't that bad. You know what I mean? It's not that bad. You got to be able to work through getting hit, but that's not comfortable. You know what I mean? So it's like with a kid like that, you have to build them up, right? To be able to work through getting punched. And even like a guy like Flitter, when he first started, he had to learn how to get through getting the punch. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, man, it's like if you could give a shot, you got to be able to take a shot.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think back to the first time I was doing mitts, and you know, because you start shadowing, right? And well, not even to say shadowing, but you start doing drills where you're just, you know, you're stepping, walking across the room, just jabbing, you know, throwing 1-2s, 1-2-3s, whatever. And then you get on mitts, and you got gloves on, and, you know, you start getting pretty, like, all right, my hands are here. Little by little, they start getting down here. Little by little, they're here. And all of a sudden, you throw a combination. You get hit, right? And the thing is, the only way you get comfortable with it, because listen, it doesn't feel good. You don't like it, but you don't mind it, right? And that's one of the things I think that's interesting about, and one of the things that I love about the martial arts in general, is someone that's forget about getting hit. Like, forget about that part for a second. Just getting physical, right? Like, whether you're getting punched, whether you're wrestling with somebody, whatever it is, it's not necessarily comfortable. Like, 'cause, you know, anyone that sees jiu-jitsu, they're just like, look at that position, man. That's like, they start making jokes about this and that, right? But the whole thing is like, someone who actually does it, there's nothing going through your head like that except for, I'm going to break your arm. While you're thinking about what you're thinking about right now, I'm going to break your arm. Right?
No, 100%.
Like, I'm gonna choke you out. While you're laughing or you're thinking about the situation, you're getting it checked out. And it's funny because, like, it's that kind of stuff that pulls you away, right? Like, you don't want to get hit in the face, so you don't do boxing. You don't want to roll around on the ground with guys. Okay, cool. But you're never going to be able, right, to physically step up when there's actually a situation, you know? And it's just funny because it's like, what are you willing to sacrifice, right? Not even sacrifice because it's not like that, but like that uncomfortableness. Can you get past the uncomfortable, right, to take yourself to the next level? And a lot of times I feel like just in general in life, you know, workouts, like assault bikes aren't fun, right? But when you do them, there's going to be a result at the end, right? Like, you do them over and over again. Commit, discipline, consistency, keep rolling it, keep rolling it.
100%, 100%.
It's the uncomfortable that makes us something special. And that's why I like boxing. I mean, listen, business, I mean, you know, I feel like people get comfortable in school. Like, it's hard, but like, they're comfortable. They've done it for years. So it's like, I can keep studying, I can go back. But going out there, prospecting, right? Like, think about all the stuff that's so uncomfortable.
No, for sure. And it's like, you know, I'll use this as an example, right? Prior to doing this, you know, I was many years in the rail. 2019, started training kids. All good?
Yeah.
Started training kids in a youth program. But I was just a trainer, right? Like I wasn't managing a branch, right? I was just a trainer. So, you know, clients would find us online, or the owners would get them. I wasn't responsible for prospecting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The kids. I mean, I did bring in some kids, like buddies of mine, their kids, whatever. But for the most part, I didn't do any of that, right? So, and then I had like some clients of my own that I did at home or at Edge, whatever. But they were just like friends of mine. But I wasn't in a place where I was like actually going out trying to find clients.
Yeah.
And you think, like, just because you're a trainer and you do things, like you personal train, when you get into this realm, people don't just come knocking on the door to train. There's a lot more that goes into it. So it's been good for me to actually have to, you know, go out and prospect and try to, you know, get people to buy into what we're doing. You know what I mean? It's because there's no magic, you know, social media post. There's no, it's not, if you don't go out and get it, people don't come and knock on this door. You know what I mean? Especially in here. Nobody knows what's in here. You know what I mean? So, you know, but that is uncomfortable, right? Because you have to talk to people you never talked to. You have to do all the, you know, the legwork.
Hard conversations.
Yeah.
And I think that's the hard part about, you know, what we do here, right? Is that there's hard conversations. Like something as simple as, yeah, you're gonna have to pay me for this because I would love to do this. We don't do this. This isn't a hobby for us. This is the job. Like I think we've talked about this before, but like my favorite is when someone's like, so oh, this is cool. This looks like a fun thing that you do here. So like, what do you do for your real job?
Yeah.
My what? Yeah, no, this is 100%. I am 100% committed to helping my people get to the next level. That is it. Unleash the potential. That's
100%.
Every day, all day, 24/7. There is no day off. Like.
No, and I get that. You know, in conversations we've had, especially, you know, since I've, you know, we reconnected. I feel like a lot of people mix this up with playing.
Yeah.
Because we box.
We have a great time.
Like,
we do
this
have a
is
great
not
time.
play by any stretch of the imagination. Do we have a good time? Yes. Do our members and clients, do they love being here? Do we have a good time with them? Absolutely. But at the same time, we bring a whole nother level of energy, value. Like, it's not boasting, but you see it. We are leaders, right? So in a lot of cases, we are trusted to better people's lives. You know what I mean? Not a lot of cases, in most cases, right? Yeah. It's like, you know, and I've watched, you know, how training and how being a part of TA has changed people's lives. You know what I mean? And that's important. That's not a game. That's not playing.
No, that's why. But that's the reason why when people think that training and this is a part-time, you can do this as a part-time thing, or no, man. Listen. The people that you're working with, they don't just. It's not just they pay you money and whatever that you do. You take them through exercise. It's you're there for them. You're their health support system. You know, like you're leading them through the health. Like, and you have to also understand that they have a life outside of it. They have to understand that there's like their lifestyle. They can tell you they want to look like this, but are they willing to, again, coming back to getting uncomfortable? What is your lifestyle like, right? You want this goal, but your lifestyle and this goal doesn't connect. So we could do a short term, right? You could do it for 3 months, let's say. But what do you want a long-term vision, right? Where do you actually want to take this? And I think that's the part that like really gets out of it. But that's the whole part, man. It's like boxing, jiu-jitsu, working out, having conversations, right? Like, can you challenge yourself, put yourself in a place where it's uncomfortable? The things that you know, you're like, I don't like doing this. Like, not just hobby, me too, but sending emails. Just sitting there, just sending emails. No responses.
Hate it. Well, it's a part. You got to do it. Speaking of
But,
which,
yeah.
I'll send out some today. But yeah, no, man.
But anyway, the point is, it's just
It's just doing things, that
yeah.
you're not comfortable with
Yeah.
doing, right? Like, I sent out so many emails from college through, when I became a manager, but those are emails that you're getting a response for, right? Like you're working with a group of people, but to send out emails where you don't know if it's going to somebody's spam box or if they're opening it and then like just ignoring you, like who the hell, and then you follow up and a lot of times you don't get a response, but it's a part of the process. Like you have to do it, you know what I mean? Yesterday, we met yesterday. I was like, and you were like, what did you say? And I was like hyping myself up out loud to send these emails. I'm like, yeah, done. Next. But and that's like we talked about it in a couple podcasts ago. So I don't like doing that, but I got to find a reason to like doing that.
Yeah.
I got to hype myself up.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's just like in training. That second set, so we had 3 sets of assault bikes. It was point 2, farmer carry, and right back on the assault bike for point 2 in under 26 seconds. So we had 3 sets of that. So the first 2 sets I did within like 5 minutes of each other. So I did one, I went and did another exercise, came back, did the second one. That second one, I was like, dog. Yeah. I'm gonna save the third one for the end of the workout. Yeah. I ended up doing it like 20 minutes later, the third set. I did the challenge, I don't know, like 44 minutes.
You added a sled right after it.
Yeah.
That was what I did too.
Yeah.
Which is dumb.
Yeah.
It's really dumb that we did that, but for some reason it felt right.
But
did it feel? It felt right.
No, it did. That's how last week me and E, we did assault bike.
Yeah.
Right into sled push pull, and it was like and farmer right after that. Like it just flows better that way.
It just feels.
But the farmer is your break, but it's not really a break. But that's where you can get yourself together. But that third set, as I'm walking to the bike, and when I get on the bike, I had to go to a place, and I said some explicit, it was like to myself. But it's like I own this bike. This is my bike. I'm gonna crush this right now and get it done with. And my third set, I had the better time. I got it in like 22 seconds because I was just getting out there and ripping it. So, what's your mind like when you're doing things that are uncomfortable? What are you thinking? What are you telling yourself? How do you get through the uncomfortable things? You have to be positive. You have to tell yourself like, I'm gonna do this, and nothing's gonna stop me.
Well, and I think there's a reason. You take a look. So, one of the teams that we trained this past week, kids just didn't show up.
Yeah.
Like we're doing homework during the session, and I look at them just like, and these are kids that say that they want to go play professional, right? They want to get to the highest level of hockey, even if not professional. Like they want to play in college and that kind of thing. And I think like people just don't realize what it takes to get to these different levels. Mm-hmm. And like they live in La La Land because I'm going to tell you, like, you got guys that are at the highest level, and I'm watching like their commitment to their craft, and then you're watching the people that say they want it, right? And real quick, that's not their fault because maybe they really don't understand what it takes, right? Maybe we need to do a better job of getting that across, right? But the thing is if you want, it's funny. There was I forget where this is from, but it was like, play stupid games.
Win stupid prizes. Yeah, 100%.
And it's just like, look, man, like, if you want to mess around, if you want to do these different things, you'll get a prize. Yeah. Not the prize you want, but you're going to get a prize, right? Yeah. We create the stories that we tell ourselves. We create what our life is like, right? We create the goals that we want. It's all about what are you actually committed to. Yeah, 100%. And
it's like I just saw this morning, or listened to this morning, as I was getting ready. Sean Porter, he's a fighter, retired fighter now. He's a little bit older than us. Well, maybe your age, a little older than me. But I wasn't like a huge fan of him or his style, but he had a high motor, and he ended up becoming world champion. You got to respect that, right? he said that he knew it was over for him when he no longer wanted to train.
Yeah.
And that's okay because he reached the top, right? But that journey to the top, it's a battle, right? But he got to a point where he was like, I don't want to put my body through this anymore. Yeah. And he knew that, he said, and once I knew that, he's like, you know, there were still big fights out there for me. He's like, I wasn't gonna go out there and get hurt because I'm not putting in the work that is necessary to compete at this high level. And I feel like, you know, young athletes don't understand that talent alone isn't going to get you there. Nope. You got to do the legwork, man. You got to be prepared.
Well, because you know, man, I think the hard part is this: is for me. So I want to fight again. I want to go. So I fought when I was 33, 34, 32, 33. I don't know, somewhere in that range. I had a fight. There was people there, so it was a fight. But like, listen, I want to do another event when I'm 42. The last time 43, because I fought when I was 23. Fought when I was 33. Yeah, I must have been like 33, or I might have just turned 34, something like that. And then I want to do it again, and you know, when I'm 43.
Yeah.
And I say all that but I know I don't want to do it now.
Yeah.
Because I don't want, like, to get in the ring with someone, right? Whatever the sport is, but like to get in and play, and not. It's one thing if, all right, they just beat me because they were just better than me, right?
Yeah.
But if you go in there and you're not conditioned, like you just got beat because you didn't work hard.
Yeah.
That to me, those are the dude. Those hurt the most.
100%.
Because it's like I could have won, right? But I did not put the work in.
Yeah.
And to me, that's the worst part.
Yeah.
And all you have to do was put the work in. Because man, there's so many people that I see that have so much talent, like talent just oozing out of them.
Yeah.
But no work ethic.
Yeah.
And it's like,
and
all you can do as a coach is sit there and try to just stick with them, right? And hope that the light bulb turns on.
Yeah.
Because if it doesn't, what a waste.
Nah, man, 100%, man. And it's like you have to be ready. Because one thing about, and I learned this from my dad and my grandfather, I'm not going to embarrass myself. If I'm not ready, you know if you're ready or not, right?
Yeah.
And for kids that don't know, they're going to find out when they go away to a camp or they go away to,
showcase.
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
And they're up there with guys that really put in the work.
Right.
They're going to be like, damn.
Yeah.
I should have listened to coach.
That's right. That's right.
And then maybe there's a switch that flips.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because, you can have all the talent in the world, but if I think we see that in, I'm very, very proud of my godson, man. This kid is a freshman. Team wasn't that great this year, but he stood out with his play and, on varsity as a freshman. But like, I've watched him since he was a pup, right?
Yeah.
And, he was a monster in Little League. But, a lot of times, a lot of kids are good in Little League.
Right.
And then as you get older and you're in middle school and high school, sometimes it doesn't translate, right? But like, what are you doing? Yep. And a lot of this falls on the parents too, but what are you doing to stay dangerous, stay a beast? You know what I mean?
I'm going to tell you, man, I think you can maybe agree with me on this, but I know so many amazing parents. Yeah. Amazing parents. It just doesn't, the kids just don't get it. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Like, it just doesn't, for whatever reason, it just didn't. Yeah. And then I also know awful parents. Yeah. Like, parents that just like, and you go, how did this come out of that?
Yeah.
Like, this does not, how did that, how? Right? And, but that's the thing, it's like, I feel like I believe you can always get better at something, but that's the whole thing is that everyone's got weaknesses. Yeah. And there's just like for me, I always knew I would never play in the NBA. Yeah. It just wouldn't happen, ever, no matter what.
My hoop dream stopped in the 10th grade.
But my I don't think I ever had hoop dreams. But like, I played a lot of basketball. I love basketball, but I knew that 5'6" is just not gonna cut it in the NBA.
100%.
But the thing is there's other things, right, that I know that I was created for, right? And that's the whole thing, man. It's like, know what your strengths are, focus on those, and just continue to kick up. Because honestly, like, your weaknesses, you can maybe make a little better, but like, how much are you actually gonna do?
And talking about that, like, so, growing up, I boxed, I played basketball, played a little bit of football, and it's like, boxing I thought was going to be my end all be all. Although I knew my grandfather and my dad never wanted me to be a fighter.
Yeah.
And I think I shared the story with you. So when we first started boxing, it was shortly after we started sparring, so we might have been going for a few months. My dad brought a camcorder. And this had to be like 2000, 2001, because my grandparents moved back from Memphis at that time. And we used to have Sunday dinner at their house all the time. So this one Sunday, we took this VHS over, popped it in while my grandmother and aunts were in the kitchen. Me, my dad, and my brother and my grandfather sat down and popped this tape in. And I'm thinking that I could do something. My dad's thinking he could do something as a trainer. So, I mean, within 10 seconds of watching this video, my grandfather hit the roof. And he said, "Boy, you can't fight. And boy, you can't teach him how to fight. I'll be at the gym Monday night." Well, it had to be longer than a few months because it was longer than that. So anyway, it was about a year in. And my grandfather came to the gym, and that's when he became my trainer. Had it not been for that, he would have never even let me compete in the amateurs at all. But anyway, from there, just started rolling. And my junior year, had an accident in wood shop, cut off and tore up the cartilage in my ear and put a gash in my forehead on a vice grip. And that put me out for 6 months. And then after that, got back into it, but didn't get back into it like the level that we were into it prior to that. And at that point, it was like, boy, you're going to school.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I just took, my grandfather, his words and what he says is like the law, right? So like, it was like, all right, well, I guess boxing is done.
Right.
But looking back, and it's kind of where I'm at in life now, I gotta live for me. You know what I mean? That's just a lesson I learned as you grow and get, you mature. But like, had I been living for me, it would have probably looked a lot different at the time. But you can't change the past. But now it's like, I do what I want to do. What I want to do. And not that he was wrong. Like, I look at it and it's like, I got girls, but I don't want my kids to be fighters. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, man, it's a tough, and the hardest part too, right? Is like, especially just looking at, man, at the top, they're making money, right? Otherwise, that's
the journey to the top, man. Like, I see it now. I follow a lot of pro guys. We know a few pro guys. Man, boxing is I'll never forget Blue Rising. My dad fought there a few times, and I could still smell that place. But, if you go, back then, if you would go to the fights, you could, look in the locker room, you see all the fighters getting ready to go out and kill each other. Mind you, they had to sell their own tickets, right? I don't know if I think it's still that way because I see fighters that sell their tickets. You got to sell your own tickets, right? So you make all the money and you get a small fraction of that. And then you and your opponent go out there and you're trying to break each other's face, right? And then there's a group of men in a room counting all the money. You know what I mean? Counting all the money. And they didn't break a sweat. So that is boxing, right? So if you want to be a fighter, that's why here, TA, it's a different dynamic, right?
No, man. There was one fighter a couple years ago that I would go in the gym where I was at the time, and dude, this guy, I loved watching him. Like, he was sparring and whatever, but like, I used to really enjoy watching him fight. His style was just very similar to like the way I like to fight. And he was just, dude, he was so good. And man, I kept asking because the guy that repped him, like, because I wanted to go see him fight, like, you know, live and the whole thing. And like, he's just such a good fighter. But I think he was like 11-0 or 10-0, or he was something like somewhere in that range. And basically, anyone that was for him to break through, was afraid to fight him. And the guys that he was fighting, like, there was just no point. So, and you know, he was getting up in age, so it's just like, it's such a hard piece, because it's like, dude, this dude is a beast. Like, he deserves, like, to be at the top level. Again, just my opinion, so whatever. But like, this dude was so good. And it's just crazy to me that, you know, he was like, no, I don't want to fight you. I'm scared of you.
Oh, it's like any other sport, man. The politics are crazy, man. Like, you know, the best of the best. I feel like in the last couple of years it's been a little bit better, but the best of the best don't want to fight each other. Everybody wants to hold on to that zero. You know, and it's like, guys, like, look at to me, Terrence Crawford, I said this years ago. I knew 15 years ago he was going to be the face of boxing, right? And they tried to keep this man from being the face of boxing because he's an about business guy. He doesn't have all the antics. He's not flashy. He's not pretty, right? He does, you know what I mean? He just goes in, does the work, handles business. And they used to say, oh, well, he's not marketable. You know what I mean? Like, it took him so many years to get to where he's at now because of the politics of boxing. You know what I mean? It's nuts, man. The things you got to go through. So, but yeah, man. But again, you know, if people want to take that route, you got to be ready to put the work in. You know what I mean? You got to be ready to put the work in. Sure. But nah, man. Damn, you got me going.
I know.
I could talk about this stuff for
hours. Days.
Yeah, man.
But we got Tommy's birthday coming up Sunday.
Yeah, 23. Yeah.
Old man. Old man Tommy. Never old.
Never old,
Young
bro.
kid mentality. But what episode we at? He's always making fun of me because I never know when we're on.
What?
What episode we on?
We're on.
You remember, huh?
14.
14.
Yeah. I was kind of hoping that Halloween would have been 13, but Halloween was 12.
By the way,
had some technical difficulties with that one. The mic done. We got some new mics coming in though. Yeah.
The Halloween episode, we're really upset.
There's some clips there. There was some fire clips in that one.
Some really good
we probably
ones.
can use them for social media, but it won't be on YouTube because he sounds clear. I sound muffled.
Well, you know I sound clear because I'm always bringing the fire.
Yeah, nah, but that's good stuff though, man. Yeah. So 14. Today
Episode
is 14.
Yeah.
Catch y'all next time. Signing out.